What is happening in Russia? We seem to be having a coup. There seemed to be a march on Moscow, and now there's been an arrangement between them and Mr. what's his name, Prigozhin. Mr. Yevgeny Prigozhin seems to be now in Belarus, and the Wagner Group, is the Wagner Group being disbanded? What is going on?
No. In fact, to all of the Western reporting about the mutiny by the Ukrainian, or by some of the Ukrainian elements of the Wagner Group, all you can say to the Western reporting of that is stuff and nonsense. The Wagner Group it did a great job for Russian forces in the Ukraine. It was able, because it lacked the bureaucracy of the Russian armed forces, was able to go and achieve things which the Russian armed forces could for a period of time. However, it had reached the end of its useful life in Ukraine, and the Russian Ministry of Defense, with Putin's full approval, said that the contract with Wagner Group had to come to an end, and the Wagner personnel in Ukraine would have to sign contracts with the Russian Ministry of Defense. You've got to remember that Yevgeny Prigozhin, like Eric Prince at Blackwater, the US mercenary company, they became very rich from these contracts. Prigozhin saw the end of a massive cash flow with the ending of his contract. So he decided to make a statement. He made it clear when he initiated his so-called mutiny or so-called protest, was that he was not against Russia or the Russian government, and certainly he wasn't against President Putin. Things got out of hand. He said he had 25,000 troops that he was going to take out of Ukraine and go into Rostov-on-Don, which is the southern command area. And the reality was he came out of Ukraine with about 4,000 men, virtually all either enlisted personnel or NCOs, non-commissioned officers, no officers. Because the officers said, "Hey, we're here as professionals. We'll go and sign on with the Ministry of Defense." Mm. So this so-called invasion of Russia by Prigozhin was nothing of the kind. It was a protest. Yevgeny Prigozhin was foolish in the extreme in thinking that he could get away with this, simply because he embarrassed his best friend, Vladimir Putin. And Putin could not allow that to stand. So they did it, and then particularly when in this whole insulting episode, his trigger-happy fighters shot down some Russian helicopters and a command and control aircraft, an Ilyushin-22. The reality was that the Russian armed forces paved the way for Prigozhin to leave Ukraine because it was felt that getting him out would be fine. They put no troops in his path. He was able to go into Rostov-on-Don, and as he said, not a shot fired. No, there was nobody there at the Southern District Command headquarters. He went in, took over the office, and then decided to go up to Moscow.